Welcome to the Bring Two Controllers podcast. My name is Alex, and I'm joined today, as always, by my friend Dave. Say hello, Dave.
What's up, guys? And I thought I'm more than just your friend. I thought I'm your BFF, but whatever. I guess I got to reclimb the ranks.
Yeah, well, I think my wife is my BFF now, but you can be
Oh,
my backup. I also have an identical twin brother that I'm quite fond of. So
yeah, okay, but unmarried, unrelated. Am I top tier?
you're definitely top tier.
Am I S tier?
You're S tier. You're
Nice.
above S tier. I guess two. You
Oh,
just start adding more
double
S's
S,
at
double
that
S.
point.
Nice,
Yeah, you can have as many S's as you'd like. Okay.
nice.
Let's just lay it on the table. Okay, so with that out of the way, we got through the first hurdle of the podcast. Let's get into our usual kind of greeting here and talk about this week in gaming.
Yes. So before we start off, did you get any new gaming stuff or nerdy stuff in this last week? Did you play anything?
Um, yeah, kind of actually, kind of. So
Okay.
it's not that I've got anything; it's that I'm going to get something, and I'm actually hoping for feedback from people. So,
Okay.
I was very lucky to get a Amazon gift card
Ooh,
as a gift and like an early gift, and I'm trying to
okay.
figure out what I want to spend it on, and I've got wait for it $100. It's pretty
That's
generous.
That's not bad. That's not bad.
I know, right? So I was gonna
Okay.
buy. I'm gonna buy one of those towels that dries really quick for the gym. I'm gonna buy
Okay.
probably like a retractable shovel for the car for the snow.
I
But
want to get one of those too.
yeah, but then I was thinking, okay, maybe I'll buy a game that it's kind of on my backlog. Strangers of
Okay.
Paradise, for example, is one that I'm actually kind of considering getting.
Oh. For
But
PS4?
then I'm thinking, yeah, probably for PS4 to be honest. And then I don't know, like what else? What else could I get? Other games, perhaps? Like should I get content creator stuff? I don't know. It's kind of a
Okay.
hard decision.
Okay.
Like, what do you think? Do you think
Um
is there anything that jumps out of your?
I mean, Strangers of Paradise has been on my kind of radar too. I'm kind of waiting for it to like go on sale or something, but I did play the demo and I really liked it. It was pretty fun. Um
Yeah, I like the demo as well. I thought that some of the scenes were kind of cheesy, but
oh, it looks like it's top to bottom super corny, but it looks
yeah,
fun. Like it looks like a decent time, and I don't think it's too long. I think it's like in the 20ish hours, which is
yeah. And
like
there was a DLC
pretty
already
spot.
with some extra stuff, and
Yeah. Yeah,
yeah.
you could go with that.
Well, we'll see. So maybe that will be an update item. Right? We can talk about that in the future, and
Nice.
I'll see if anyone's listening to this. You can tell me what do you think I should get. I have a PlayStation 4. I have a Switch that I share with my brother. I currently have it because he has a Steam Deck, so I'm probably keeping it for a while. And then I have a PC as well.
Nice.
So I mean, yeah, those are the options.
Nice,
Also has
nice.
to be on Amazon. Yeah. What about you? Anything that you got this week?
So I technically received it this week, but I actually wanted to show it off the last time. So I bought, remember the last time I showed you those pawns that I got for Pathfinder? I did order
Yes.
like a
Yeah.
2 pack. So last one was NPCs, and then this one is just
Right.
like random dungeon tiles. So it's got like, for example, like bookcases, um, doors, stuff like that, crypts,
No,
beds,
no
all these like
children inside.
ballistas, fountains, stuff like that. So just to, like kind of make it easier. So when I'm drawing like a battle map, I don't have to actually draw everything. Like
Nice.
I can just plop things
Right.
down. When we do end up playing, I don't think I'm gonna end up drawing like the whole dungeons. I'll just like describe everything, and then once there's a battle, then I'll like
Yeah.
draw the room. I think
I think that's the way to go.
that's
Yeah.
how I'll go.
That's one of the
And
main
then yeah,
advantages of it.
otherwise, sorry.
One of the main advantages of actually playing on a grid is being able to do battles in a more exciting way. I
Yeah,
think for D
yeah.
and D, yeah, and that's
And
actually
it's
another
kind of
thing I could get with my Amazon card. I could get one of the new D&D books because there's some pretty sharp looking
oh.
books. They have alternate covers now for some of the books.
Yeah,
You
and you
know,
can get some of like you can either get like a module book or you could get like one of the extended like DM style books. I don't know what they're actually like that genre is called, but like Xanathar's Guide, they've made like two or three
yeah,
like new things like that since then with like new classes and new
yeah, the
items and
unearthed
new
arcana
monsters.
classes.
Sorry, yeah,
That's like
the
the
Arcana,
unearthed arcana. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
So. Cool,
Yeah,
man.
so otherwise, the other new thing that I kind of got this week was over the weekend, I did get into the Street Fighter beta.
Nice. Yes.
Apparently, I was a jerk. I was big enough jerk to get in. Um, but no, it was super fun. Like I really enjoyed it. I was really sad when it ended. I can't believe I have to wait now 6 months, but it's going to be definitely
Oh, it's
a
over
day
one.
one. Sorry. Yeah, it was
Was it
just
a
the
stress
weekend.
test? Okay.
It was just yeah, it was just like a little one weekend thing. Oh, it looks like my camera's off, but I'll keep talking. Um, yeah, so I played that. It was really fun. I think it's probably like one of the best fighting games I've ever played, to be honest with you. And it's still like
Mm,
in beta testing, so I'm excited to see how it turns out moving forward. Um, and then I finally beat FF6. I beat it last night. I had to grind quite a
congratulations.
bit, but it's done. It's off my bucket list. And then I finally started Chained Echoes.
Oh, awesome.
Um,
Okay.
I'm about like 5 6 hours in. It's really hard. I get my ass kicked quite a bit. It's like a pretty challenging
Okay.
game, but it's a good time.
That's
I'm liking it.
maybe you'll recommend that later on when we get into our segment for the day, but that's
No
exciting to hear.
spoilers, no spoilers, but it might be on there.
Yeah. 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 Cool. I think the only other thing going on with me is I'm currently in a like full inventory mode of my Final Fantasy trading cards. Um,
Okay,
because for those of you that know, that was my first foray ever onto YouTube, was making Final Fantasy trading card game videos.
that
And
was the time.
so COVID kind of killed our local scene, and I haven't played in forever. And so I'm just kind of doing a full inventory of all the cards that I own, and then maybe seeing if there's some with some value and maybe selling them or something. But right now I'm just sorting them and going through it. It's quite a task. I don't really
You have a lot,
want to.
hey.
Yeah, I bought a lot of cardboard. A lot of money
Final
on
Fantasy does have really
cardboard.
nice looking cards, though.
It does, and that's actually exactly what I thought when I took out the first card. And I've actually been playing more Magic the Gathering lately. I've been playing with my
Mhm.
students. I've been playing with my friends, and so I picked up a FFTCG card, and I'm like, oh my goodness! Like, first of all, the card quality is way higher than Magic the Gathering, and then second of all, it has this really like sharp matte black back card back, and
Right.
it's just such a good look. Dang it. Okay,
Yeah.
let's move on though. Unless you have anything else you want to share before then.
Nope, not really. Just like maybe some gaming. We can move on to some like quick little gaming news recaps, like
Yes,
releases and
yes,
things.
exactly right. Yeah, let's do it.
Um, So I guess there's not much going on this week in terms of releases. I think a few days ago, The Witcher 3 next gen update came out. Apparently, it's been a little bit glitchy, but like, if you get it working, it looks really nice. Like they added ray
Mm,
tracing, 4K, everything like that. It already looked pretty good on PC. If you had a
yeah.
PC good enough to, run it with like some of the texture mods and stuff like that. But like the PS5 and Series X and Series S, I guess now have new modes, so it looks really good. And somehow they're getting RE7 to run on the Switch this week as well. I think on the
Oh,
22nd. And that's like the first
interesting.
person one that came out a few years ago. I don't know if you remember seeing
Mm,
about it, like the really scary one
I
when they're in like the house in the swamps.
yeah, I try not to, but if it's scary.
And then you had some Pokemon news as well.
Well, I know that's the big one, is that Pokemon is moving on from Ash Ketchum now. I don't know about you, but we went to the same elementary school,
Hmm.
and I have very specific memories of like hustling home in the primary grades because Pokemon started at 3 o'clock, and if you got home
Right,
quick enough, you could watch the final 20 minutes
right,
of the episode, and
right.
like it was a big deal. And that was the first season, by the way. Like that was it. We started from the scratch, and
Yeah,
we
I
were collecting
remember
cards
when
and
people were first talking about Pokemon coming out, they're like, "Oh, did you know there's this new show coming out with Pokemon?" And I remember like kids like describing what Pokemon are. It's like, "Oh yeah, there's a mouse that's electric," and like what I envisioned in my head before seeing like Pikachu, for example, was like completely different. It's crazy to
Mhm.
believe that that was like 25 years ago or something. Jesus.
Oh, so long ago. And so like I never really watched past the first season. I watched some of the movies and stuff, but I
Yeah.
played a lot of the games, and I always thought it was kind of funny that like Ash is eternally young throughout all these things. And it's so yeah, it's all this time later. He's still the main character, except they just announced that he is he's going to step down as the main character, and we're going to get two new protagonists. There's a
Oh,
girl, and then there's a guy they showed in the teaser image. So people are speculating maybe it's Ash's daughter. I kind of hope they don't do that, because it's not that I'm going to watch it, but you know, it doesn't have to be, it doesn't have to be Ash's daughter. It can just be
right.
something new, something exciting. Oh, by the way, I have the stat down. So it aired in 1997, and we were 7 years old when it came out.
97, we were six, weren't we?
Well, you can turn seven in 1997 if you were us,
Can we?
right? Like I turned. Wait, I'm doing my math right, right? Like, yeah, you
No, I
you
don't think
turned. You
so.
were. Oh my
You're
gosh.
five
Well, I'm
turning
gonna.
six. You're five turning six in 96 because we're
Okay, then
91.
I didn't think carefully enough about that. Now, just for the record, I have taught math.
Hopefully, my kids don't go to your class, man.
Yeah, that's right. No, it's yeah, okay. All right. So, but yeah, I just thought that was worth mentioning. Pokemon is obviously a very big franchise that doesn't spend very much money on quality assurance, but
And they're
still,
very
nonetheless,
safe. Like they don't stray far from the beaten path. So this is like
mhm,
pretty interesting, like big news for them.
yeah, yeah, it's a huge deal. So, are there any other big releases or gaming news that we should be excited about right now?
Not really till really the next year. Oh, another game that came out last week. I forgot to mention it. I thought that you would like it though. It's called High on Life, and it's by the Rick and
Mm.
Morty creator. It's like a
Oh,
first person alien, like a like adventure shooter thing with like Rick and Morty humor. I haven't played it yet, but apparently it's been people are really loving it. It came out last week,
okay.
High on Life.
Yeah, I'm
But it's
gonna
got
have
like
to
the
check
voice
that out.
actor and everything. The
The one
stupid
voice
kind of
actor.
humor.
Yeah, yeah, that sounds good. I remember playing the VR Rick and Morty game, and it was pretty hilarious.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
pretty
with all
short,
the
right?
yeah, very short. It was kind of just like a demo,
Like a
in a
20
way.
minute demo.
Okay, so
Yeah,
we're gonna move on then, and what we thought we would do today would be to talk about Christmas game ideas, like
right.
Christmas gift ideas, like games you could get as gifts for people that you love or not. Maybe you feel beholden to them in some way, and you must purchase them a gift as and you have to get them a game, right? But whatever the situation is, you might have to be getting a game for somebody. And so we're going to recommend some games of various backgrounds and prices, and maybe you can run with those, or maybe there'll just be some games that you'll get yourself. And there's
Yeah.
really almost no criteria to this. So, Dave, you want to start us off with one? You'll go back and forth. Maybe I'll do one, you do one, or maybe.
Yeah, so I think we did put a little bit of structure where we wanted to have like one more like AAA expensive game, maybe like a cheaper
Right.
game, maybe like an indie game, maybe like a stocking stuffer,
I'm just
kind of
saying
loose.
there's
Ki-
barely any like criteria. Yeah, it's
Yeah, barely, barely.
very
So
very
I would
surface level.
say, sure, if I start off, we can start off with like big budget. Or maybe you know what? Let's start. I'll go down the tier or up from most expensive. So I feel like if you have like a guy or somewhat guy, I just mean in general. If you have someone you're shopping for and they're like big gamer and they're like a collector, um, what I think you could get that's just coming out now, they're like releasing, is maybe like the Chained Echoes box collectors,
Nice.
just because it looks nice. And if you have like someone who's a collector, it's got like a nice steel case. I think if you buy like the collector's edition, it has some like maps and artwork and stuff like that, so I feel like that could be something. And then like I mentioned earlier, the game is like exceptional, like for a JRPG. If
Yeah.
you're shopping for someone who's huge into Final Fantasy or Chrono Trigger or any kind of classic JRPG, I feel like that's a pretty good purchase. And it's not as expensive as a full collector's edition because the game itself is a lot cheaper. It's like half the price of a AAA game right now. So I would recommend that as like a boxed piece you can buy for somebody.
Now, just so we can be clear, because maybe there's gonna be one person that like follows through on our advice here. What does Chained Echoes come on? What consoles or like
I think it's
what where
literally
can
on
you play?
everything, and they're even
Okay.
releasing a boxed edition for the PC version. So it doesn't actually come with a
Hmm.
disc. but there's like a PC version boxed. But
Well,
it's for
do
Switch, it's
PCs
for
even come
PlayStation,
with disk
Xbox, and
drives?
sorry.
Do PCs even come with disk drives anymore? I don't think they
Um,
do.
Not really. Even like gaming laptops, I don't even think they have them. You know, it's actually
Mine
funny.
doesn't.
This is a little bit of a tangent. I was looking through all my old games like last year, because I wanted to play Medieval 2 Total War. And I still have my boxed copy. It's actually pretty nice box. And I went to go install it, and my computer just doesn't recognize the installer. It's just too old.
Oh my god.
So what I ended up having to do is it has a CD key, and I could actually take the CD key from the box and put it into Steam, and then Steam actually
Right.
credit it as a Steam game. So now I just have the Steam version, but the disc
Yeah, I
and
remember
everything is just worthless.
Blizzard did that a while back where you could just put all your CD keys into their website and then every
It
time you
saves it.
logged on to your Battle.net account, you could just download the games that you owned. I thought that was pretty smart to
Yeah.
do. Because I have a gaming laptop, which I recently reformatted and fixed up,
Oh
and
yeah.
it does not have a disk drive. So it's all digital for me. Mhm.
It's the future.
All right, shall I go?
Yes, your turn. Your turn.
Okay, and before I go with mine, I just want to mention I am drinking a Budweiser right now,
Are
and
you?
some of you are like, yeah, some of you might be thinking like, oh, are you guys sponsored? We're not sponsored. Although Budweiser might be looking for a sponsor after they got shafted by Qatar, so maybe
Oh.
Dave, you could do some research into that. Can you reach out to Budweiser?
Yeah, I can email. I can email Budweiser. I don't.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
maybe.
know, I won't say anything about their product. I'll drink it on stream. That's fine.
Yeah, I mean, you know what's kind of funny is like to another tangent. I don't mind like cheap beers. There's something nice about it. Like I
Yeah,
like a nice
it's
craft
fine. I
beer.
can have a couple. Just for me, it
Yeah,
depends on how bitter it tastes. If it tastes pretty smooth, I don't mind it. But if it's like very bitter tasting, I'm not a huge fan. But you know what? Now you
are
got
you
me
just
craving. I'm gonna have a Coca Cola. I have a Coca
in
Cola
your
in a glass
desk? Like
here.
you just seriously? Okay, so first of all this audio is picking up. So,
Oh, sorry.
so everyone knows you've like undone your desk drawer. You've pulled open your desk drawer, and somehow, which is I'm assuming is not refrigerated, and you've pulled the Coca Cola out of it somehow,
No,
or
the
no?
the
You have a
Coca
bottle
Cola was
full.
on my desk, but I hadn't opened it, so I just needed to go get my bottle opener.
Incredible. Okay.
Sorry for that,
Great. So
audience.
no, that's
I'll
fine.
have to cut that out.
No. It adds a bit of
Flavor.
characters to it. Yeah. Okay. So and we're not yeah we're not going to run too long today either. So okay. So I have a AAA game recommendation. It might surprise you because it's actually an older game.
Okay.
This is a game made by Level 5, which makes a lot of JRPGs, and
Okay.
it's called Nino Kuni: Wrath of the White Witch.
Is that the first one or the second
Remastered.
one?
It's the first one, but it's been remastered. That's not new that it's remastered, but I saw that it was on sale, and it's a really awesome game. It's an RPG that has kind of like some light action elements to the battle where you can move around during the combat, but it's still very much an RPG. And you play as like a
Okay.
little boy named Oliver as he adventures through his fantasy world. You tame familiars, so it's like a monster taming type game, except like there's a lot of negative connotations to those types of games. I think this one is perfect. The animations are created by Studio Ghibli, and the music is by Joe Hizashi or Zaishi.
You're right.
So it's got just amazing production. My brother's playing through it right now, and then I saw it was on sale, and I'm like, oh, this would actually be a really good pickup for anyone that hasn't played it yet, or someone that likes RPGs, but maybe they would have stayed away from it if they thought it looked too kiddie. I would not let that stop you. So you could pick this up, save some money, and get a really good gift. It's on all the consoles. It's on PC, so you can do anything your recipient has. You
Right.
can access that with this game. So
Nice.
yeah,
That's a good recommendation, and that's another game that doesn't like outstay its welcome. Like it's not super short, but
no, it's
I
a
feel
good
like
one.
it's a good ride from start to finish. That's a good recommendation. I completely forgot that game exists.
That's right. Yeah, maybe you'll pick it up. I don't know.
Maybe.
Deck. Okay,
So
then your turn.
yeah, so now I have a AAA game that's on sale. Not from this year, it's from last year, but I loved it last year. And that's Tales of Arise. It's like on sale
Mm,
for I think $33 US, which is about $40 Canadian or so, 40
that's a
45.
good deal.
Yeah, and it's a great game. I think it took me maybe for about 50 hours or so to finish, but I loved it. I didn't have to grind too much. I think maybe I grinded for like an hour or two of the whole 50 spread out, so it wasn't too bad. Because I'll mention this like every week when we talk about JRPGs. I hate grinding.
Mm,
So games that allow you to kind of bypass grinding, or it's built into like just the general combat, the leveling and everything like that, the skill system, I really like. Art style is great, music's great. Like the battle theme is awesome. I like all the
mhm.
characters. I like how there's some romance between a few of the characters. Um, I like how there's some like race war stuff. I like how it's a little bit not dark, but there's some like darker themes. And then there's a huge plot twist where I was literally playing. I won't spoil it, but near the end of the game, it's like, okay, I feel like the game's almost done. And then I was just my jaw dropped. I was like, what? I didn't expect this at
Mm,
all. um, so yeah, I recommend it. And I think it's about 40 bucks on most platforms right now on sale. I played
mhm.
on Xbox, but it's also on Steam. You can probably get a boxed copy for one of the consoles as well. I don't
I
think it
own
was
it
on
for PlayStation 4.
on Switch. Sorry.
I own it. No, it's not on Switch. I own it for PlayStation 4. I've played like 10 minutes and then I got busy and I need to finish it.
That's one you should finish. It's really
I
good,
know.
and it picks
I'm
up
so
as
bad that
well.
way.
It picks
Yeah.
up quite a bit. Yeah, the only
So,
reason I'm finishing all these games is because of my schedule where like I don't play anything for like four days in a row, and then I
mm,
have like 4 or 5 days off, and then one day I just spend all like literally 12 hours gaming.
I can just literally spend any amount of time on creating content for my YouTube channel, and then that's not time gaming. And so
Yeah,
I have to be very intentional with my time in order to play games. And that's what I'm doing right now with Triangle Strategy. I've been playing a little bit each day. I make myself do it. Otherwise, it
nice,
doesn't happen. Right. So,
nice.
okay. So next
Your
up,
turn.
I've got a budget a budget game recommendation, and you can get a whole lot of value out of this one from the Amazon game service, or whatever they call themselves. It's New World, the
Oh, nice.
MMORPG. It's 50% off until January 5th. Okay.
Oh,
It's selling for 24.99 Canadian. So like $2 American. Okay. This game is going to give you so much playtime and it has no subscription fee. Dave and I play it. Although I haven't played it in the recent days because I've been so focused on making time for Triangle Strategy, so I haven't
right.
played it as much. But I plan to go pretty hard this winter break with my free time, and maybe even
Good.
do a stream or something with it on my other channel.
We
So,
should we should get a raid going.
yes, yeah. So I think it's a really interesting game. It's a big world and lots of fun to be had for yourself or for your lucky Secret Santa who you've bought New World for because it's on sale.
Nice. That's a good one too. That's another kind of like darker game that I like.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, what do you got?
I've got two more games, and then one like stocking stuffer. So next game, this one's full price, although I think it's actually on sale right now. So if you nab it, let me actually double check. Um, it was on sale before. No, it's back. It's back to full price.
Okay.
Um, but that is the game of the year, Elden Ring. If you have someone who hasn't played it yet, it is a really good. I can just imagine myself as like how back in the day, Alex, when we couldn't really afford games and we'd only get like two
Yeah.
games a year, one for our
Mhm.
birthday, one for Christmas.
Well, that's why I got a job at A&W.
That's why you gotta jump in and tell me.
Yeah.
But no, you remember that, right? And so I'm sure there's like lots of people that are still like that, or maybe there's people watching our stream that's like a dad or a mom or something, and they have like a teenage son, and or like a later, because I wouldn't recommend it to like a 7 year old.
Mhm.
But like I would say once you hit around 9 or 10, like you can start playing like Elden Ring. It's a little dark, but I don't know, it's pretty good. But I can just imagine myself like being a little kid, opening the box, putting it into my console, and then you just get shoved into this world, so immersed. Like there's not many games since like my childhood that have really like pulled me in, like
Yeah.
Elden Ring did. Even if you don't end up finishing it, just like the first little bit, like trying to get into the castle, like exploring the world, all this different stuff. You start off kind of naked, and you got to like find armor and all this kind of stuff. It's very fun, very immersive. There's a reason it won Game of the Year.
Yeah,
Um,
I definitely need to try it for sure.
it's good. It's good. Yeah, that
Maybe,
would be my
maybe
like full priced game Christmas present that I would recommend.
right, and maybe my triple S tier friend is going to get me one copy or something. I don't know. I don't
Would
know.
you play it?
I'll try. I'm just kidding. Don't do that. Okay. Do I go now? Is it my turn?
Your turn. Your turn. Your turn.
Okay. My final recommendation is an indie game recommendation. And I'm not really like, breaking any ground here, but it's Stardew Valley.
Okay,
Okay.
nice.
So $17 on Steam, Canadian, $17 Canadian. It's literally hours of fun, and it's co-op now, so you can play with up to 4 people. And I play co-op with my wife, and I have an absolute
Nice.
blast with it. The first time I showed it to my wife, I showed her a screenshot. She's like, "Oh, like the graphics look kind of like old and simple." I'm not. She's not a gamer at all, right? So it didn't
Right.
like look it didn't look like it was a good game to her. And then I think it was like 3 months later we tried it out. I got her to try it out, and we're literally obsessed with it. And we would play at our height. We were playing till like 1 a.m together, building our
Damn.
little town. And it's so good. So I just thought like, okay, maybe some other people are in the same boat as me, where like they kind of saw it and they're like, well, it doesn't look like as cutesy as Harvest Moon, or like, it's not 3D. It's like this old style. And don't let looks deceive you. Although I think it looks great personally. It is
Right.
a incredible game, and the amount of value in that game is insane. So fully worth trying out, and especially if you have someone to play with.
Damn. That's a good recommendation. And is it split screen or do you share a screen?
If it's on computer, it's not. It's you each have your own screen online. If you're
Right.
playing on a console, you have to do split screen,
Okay.
and there's some settings to magnify all the like text in the menus and stuff. And I recommend that you do that. But you don't have. You can walk outside of each other's range. You can be in two different parts of the town. It's
Okay.
kind of cool because couch co-op is becoming more and more rare these days. You don't
Yeah,
see it
it
as much.
is.
So whenever you do find a good couch co-op game, you kind of gotta, share that. Maybe it's you buy this, maybe this is a husband-wife situation. You buy it, for your husband or wife, and then that you're getting a gift too. So yeah,
No, that's smart. That's very smart.
there we go.
And then it also makes your partner feel like you're like involving them in your hobbies and stuff like that.
Yes, yeah. Honestly, like the amount of fun that we had together, and we'd like make
That's
these
awesome.
big charcuterie boards, and then like just mow down on some cheese and meat and stuff, and then play
Aw,
Stardew
that's so
and
cute.
drink
That's I love
wine
it.
or tall boy beers. And it was during the height of the pandemic as well. So like we were staying in a lot more often than we
Right.
were. So like you obviously needed to fill that time. So do you have any more
I
recommendations
have
there,
I have
Dave?
one more game. It's actually funny that you mentioned Stardew Valley because it's
Okay.
in the same kind of general vein. And that one is Valheim,
Oh
which is
yes.
PC only for now. I think it's coming to consoles early next year. But that is another kind of you know game where you build up your little town and stuff like that. It's only 20, I think $20 US, 25 Canadian. I have almost 100 hours in it, mostly at the start of last year when it first came out. Me and my friends built like a huge little Viking village.
Yeah.
Um, but it's nice. It's kind of like Minecraft-y, where you gotta collect materials, and then when you get new materials, you can upgrade this. But in order to like get to each new tier, you have to kill like a boss, and then there's like a boss for each new area. But each new area unlocks like new upgrades, and you have to like build a ship and like sail and build little outposts and all this kind of stuff. And it's very fun. It's very very fun, especially if you have someone to play online with. You can make
Hmm.
like a server. Um, yeah, highly recommended. It's very fun. And
I've
then
heard nothing
yeah,
but good things about this game.
it's so good.
Honestly,
And
yeah.
the actual like building mechanics are very good. And there's lots of like little things you have to worry about. Like like let's say you build a stove in your house. The stove, you need to build a chimney, otherwise your whole place is going to fill with smoke and you're going to suffocate and die.
Right.
So like you have to build a chimney. Okay, well then if you build your chimney too high up, then your ceiling will collapse or something like that. So because you can only build like a few squares out of it's not like Minecraft where you can just build like a straight line in the air for like 1,000 miles.
Yeah.
Eventually, like there's some structural integrity that you have to do. But it's great. Like I remember I built a nice little castle last time. It was very fun. And you get like invaded by monsters, and then the more people, it's kind of like Diablo, where like the more people that
Yeah.
are in it, the stronger the monsters get, and like the bigger the hordes are, and stuff like that. It's pretty sweet.
That's really cool.
Very good game.
Now, I just want to. You mentioned structural integrity. I want to kind of segue over to moral integrity, because kind of in a similar situation. This is a young Dave, by the way, a young Dave playing Sims, and uh, he in his Sims game he got a kid. And all of a sudden, he didn't want to have a kid anymore. It was too much responsibility. So, unlike Valheim, the game didn't account for things like fires and smoke filling up a room. But Dave made sure of that. He built a house with no windows, no doors, filled with carpet and fireplace. He
Yeah,
started a
that's
fire in the
classic.
Sims house with the child inside, of course, and the child survived. The child did not die.
Yeah, because I don't think you can kill the kids. You can kill a person.
Right. Right. Do you have any regrets?
Another thing you can do is you can build a swimming pool and let your sim start swimming. But then if you delete the ladder, then they can't climb out of the pool, and eventually they get tired and they drown.
Right. Like, and some people would argue that you shouldn't know that.
Well, you don't know that you can
Oh,
drown. That's a bad. You should learn some things, Alex.
yes. Yeah, it's true. You do need to learn that you
If you
can
don't breathe
drown
underwater,
in a
you
digital
drown.
world or
Spoilers.
otherwise. Yeah. Now, can I bring up two games that are not ones I'm necessarily endorsing, but they're games I haven't played yet, but I want to try. They're on my wish list. And I kind of just thought I'd mention them because they could be potential things you look into for gifts.
No, you're not allowed to mention those.
Okay, so the first one, thank you very much for giving me the platform here. The first one is Core Keeper, and this is a early access game by developer Pugstorm, great name, and publisher Fireshine Games. It's $15 on Steam, again Canadian. You build a town within a cave. You're in this giant cave network. You can farm, you can mine,
Hmm.
you can explore this giant cave and battle things. Quite a bit of battling. There's online co-op, and you kind of develop your own server. Very similar. It's like
Hmm.
a uh, Stardew Valley with more combat and
Okay.
then more similar to Valheim actually,
Okay.
because you're working with your friends to build out your area. And then, yeah, I would say it's more like an 8-bit Valheim in a way, is
Okay.
what it looks like. So Core Keeper, I really want to try it. I just haven't really put it together to like gather friends to try this. I kind of thought maybe my wife and I could try it, but she's not interested. So, you know,
No. Okay.
and
Interesting.
then the second game is called Symphony of War: The Nephilim Saga, and it's
I've seen that one.
basically yes, it's like Fire Emblem mixed with Advanced Wars, but it's medieval, and
Right.
so it's like a 2D turn-based strategy RPG. There's they say it's like 30 to 4 hours of gameplay, and there's just an insane depth of like customization of how to build your characters and your squads out, because it's a squad based thing. So whenever you go into battle, you see the two squads attacking each other, and there's a whole story to go into and stuff. So it looks like a lot of fun, and I want to try it.
Damn. Yeah, I've heard good things about it. It's always popping up on my like Steam recommendations.
Yes, and by the way, for like I don't know about you, Dave. I want to say like 20 games on my Steam wish list, and how many do you think you have?
I actually recently cleared a few. I think I also have
Mm.
around 20 or so. I had a
So
lot
I
more,
think
but I cleared a few out recently.
I think that's going to be one of our next podcast episodes, by the way. So I
Yeah,
think we're going to go through our
we
Steam
can go over our wish
wish
list.
list. Yeah.
It'd be
We're
interesting to
also
see how we overlap if we
how
do it all.
yes, overlap, or like I don't know. I think it'd be kind of funny to like send each other the list, and then we have to try to convince the other one to take one off or something. Like, but we're also hoping to get our first ever guest on soon, and so we don't know when that episode would release, but we're making some plans for the future here.
Yeah. And I
Yeah.
just wanted to mention one more little gift idea that you could do as
Right.
like a stocking stuffer. So as opposed to what's it called? As opposed to having a game, if you want to have like a customized controller, I know the Xbox. If you
Mm.
have like someone you're buying for that has either Xbox or PC, you could get from the Xbox Design Labs, and you can actually fully customize like the color scheme and everything with like a little bit of a signature as well on the controllers. So I've seen like lots of like I've seen like cool like Goku color controllers where it's like orange with blue and black and white like in the different spots. And I think it
Hmm.
only costs like an extra $10 on top of like the regular controller price. So I feel like
Should
that's
I be should I be like sending this to your girlfriend or what?
no, that's okay.
You don't want a
I
Goku
think
controller?
she's getting me some computer parts for Christmas because I'm going to be
Nice.
upgrading soon. So I feel like
Well, you know
we're
what?
groovy on that end.
There's also quite a bit of customization available for the Steam Deck in terms of putting like a skin onto it. So I could totally see you rocking like a Goku skin
I
on your
should
Steam
send
Deck.
it to you. We can show it off next podcast or something. But I actually did see a really sweet on Reddit Goku skin for
Mm,
the Steam Deck. Just really
nice.
nice, very nice
That's
and clean.
awesome. Cool. Okay. Well, I think that Dave, I mean, I don't know what to say. I think we've said it all, and that we've kind of reached the end of this episode naturally,
Yeah,
and in an enticing fashion. We've done a great job.
it was amazing. Short and sweet this week, but not bad, not bad.
I mean, not even. We're at 37 minutes. So, like, that's a pretty good podcast app. When I'm looking at
Yeah,
podcasts and I see they're like 10 to 20 minutes, for some reason that turns me off. But when I see them that they're like over an hour and a half, then I'm like, no chance that I'll listen to that. So,
really?
the 40 to an hour minute, like, or 60-minute podcast is the sweet spot, I personally think.
Yeah, sure. It's working for us
Yeah.
so far.
That's right. I know. Well, let's see if we can top 27 views, right? We're
Is that
also
where
going to
we're
get
at
an
on the last
audio.
one?
I think so, something like that. But we're also going to try to get an audio version out as well. So, what we're going
Yeah.
to do is we're going to start building out more show notes in the actual description of the video on YouTube, or in the description of the audio version once that's up. And you can go into there to see information that we've posted about things from the episode. Maybe I'll quickly put in all the titles of the games that we recommended in there, and you can go
Oh,
check
that's
that out if
smart.
you yeah want to go see those. But otherwise, any last words? Dave, you're not dying. We're just ending the podcast.
Yeah, I wish everybody, I guess our next episode won't be till after Christmas, so I hope everybody has a wonderful holidays, wonderful Christmas. You get all the games that you were hoping for. If you're on a winter break or something like that, I hope
Mm.
make some achievements, pwn some noobs, whatever it is that you need to do. I hope you do it, and we'll catch you guys next week.
Yes, and I also will wish everyone a wonderful holidays. I am on a winter break and will be
Don't
doing
copy
lots
me.
of
Don't copy me. That's what I
gaming
said.
stuff. So yeah, you know what I'll do? I'll do what I want, and I'll just like mute your audio so it sounds like you didn't say those things. And thank you so much for listening/watching, everybody. We'll see you in the next episode of Bring Two Controllers podcast next week. Yeah,
All right,
bye.
catch you guys later.